there's this thing that Abe Lincoln used to do that I tried myself, and I would like to share it with you because it worked. And it kind of blew my mind that it worked, but it did. So he would have some sort of altercation with somebody. Remember, he was the president during the Civil War when they were trying to abolish slavery, so you can imagine how stressful that would have been, with differing opinions all across the board, with army generals and people of power who were making decisions that were going to affect the well-being of every citizen in the States. So there were a number of times where a general, somebody who was making important decisions on behalf of the country, would do something insanely stupid. Abe Lincoln, who was called Honest Abe, would write them a letter, a really aggressive, angry, and belittling letter, and then he would never send it. When I read this, I took it at face value. Oh, that's cool. That, he's releasing his feelings, and good for him. And I didn't think anything of it until I had this instance with this web developer who I was trying to get a hold of and trying to get some answers out of about an upcoming project. And she just refused to get back to me for months. It was making me a little bit crazy because the project was being held up because I guess she was going through something and she was just deciding to be difficult. I remembered back to this idea about writing a letter and not sending it. And so that's what I did. I wrote a 3-page letter to her, and I swore a lot, and I told her how badly she was screwing me over and how bad she was making me look. I told her everything that I was feeling about the situation. And 2 things happened. Number 1, I felt great. It took a weight off my shoulders. But number 2, the next day she reached out to me. And I don't know, it might sound a little woo-woo or something, but kind of weird, right? So this was the first time that I did that, and then I did it a couple other times to 2 different people. And it wasn't a time thing with them, it was more an attitude, energy thing. And again, first of all, I felt better after I wrote the letter, and second of all, some sort of shift happened within them. And I don't know exactly what that is. I don't know if maybe because I was harboring feelings about these people, I was maybe projecting it onto them and making them behave in that way. I don't know. But all I do know is that it feels like some little secret that I just accidentally stumbled across. So you should try it out if somebody's pissing you off. Now, beyond writing these letters to people, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. Number 1, their stress is not your stress. So if somebody's acting out of line and saying and doing things that are disrespectful, personally hurtful, they're getting abusive in their language towards you, you have to do things in your life that allow you to have thick enough skin for that bullshit to just bounce off, because that's got nothing to do with you. It's not your problem. It's their problem. The second thing you can do is to lead by example and respond in the way that you want to be spoken to, which is hard. It's extremely hard, which is why road rage happens. One person says one thing and the other person says the other thing, and then they're in a multi-car collision. You don't want to cause a multi-car collision, especially if maybe you're a business person, or you're like a creative freelancer, or you got a job that, you want to keep, and you have to watch what you say to people. This takes a lot of effort. It's why it's so important to fill your days with things that do make you feel confident, make you feel good about yourself. Do you feel yourself starting to slip and be reactive and stooping to somebody's level, for lack of a better term, then you have to get yourself back in check and figure out why that's happening. It's got something to do with your subconscious. There's something stuck in there that's making you reactive, because every reaction that we have to situations stems from this information that's embedded into our subconscious mind. This person is triggering us and reminding us of somebody else that did something in the past, and it's making us react outwardly and sometimes in an aggressive way. This doesn't help anything. And in fact, if somebody is behaving unreasonably and you do the opposite, you actually just act like a decent, good human being, then more often than not, they rise to the occasion if you're doing it genuinely. So I hope this helps. I'm gonna go home now because these mosquitoes are crazy. But try it out, the letter thing specifically. Don't overthink it too much and don't expect it to do anything for you. Just know that Abe Lincoln did it and he was a badass. Sometimes we don't have to understand why something works. We just have to know that it does work. And this is definitely something worth trying when you're dealing with difficult people. Other than that, don't forget that other people's stress is not your stress, and to lead by example, because more often than not, people will rise to the occasion.